To not have an active life would be death to me. I like to be able to just get up and go and hike and play pickleball and do all of these things and be very active. My husband says I'm like a shark. I never stop moving. And that's when I'm happiest. I'm just an active person. And it's hard to be really active when you're in pain. About a year before I came to Active Life, I developed a hamstring problem. So I went to an orthopedist, and they did an MRI and they did x-rays, and they really didn't find, there was nothing torn, there was nothing really that they could see wrong. He said, well, you might have overworked it, it might be underworked. Didn't prescribe PT for me. Said, gave me a sheet of exercises and said, go home and do these. So I did, and they helped a little, but it never went away. And then what started to happen was, it was affecting how I walked because it really was painful. And then my left hip started to hurt. So now I was, okay, I'm an avid walker. I walk a minimum of 5 miles a day, every day. Play pickleball. I like to go hiking. I like to be active and out and doing things all the time. And I found that I was doing less and less and less because it really just hurt too much. Getting out of bed was hard. It was about a 10. It would take close to an hour for me to be able to really kind of walk with any kind of confidence that my leg wasn't gonna give out on me. Because what would happen sometimes is I would take a step and then it would just kind of collapse. I have a friend, can be negative sometimes, and she said, oh, wait until you're 70. It's all gonna fall apart. That's gonna be it. You're not gonna be able to do what you wanna do. And I was starting to think that I was gonna be that person. And I was like, that can't happen. What the doctor said to me was, oh, you'll be fine. There's nothing really wrong. And when I wasn't fine, after doing the exercises that he prescribed, I said, there has to be something else, because this is not fine. When I saw the ad, I said, it's worth a shot. I've tried everything else. The first thing that they did was an intense assessment on all of my flexibility, my mobility, my strength, how I was able to move. They assessed each area to see where you were tight, or you needed more space created so that you could move better, or you just weren't strong enough or didn't have the mobility or flexibility that you needed to do certain movements. And then they prescribed specific kinds of exercises, whether it's body weight exercises, using dumbbells or kettlebells or bands or a variety of different things, specifically to help you take care of what those issues are. So when I first started working with Sam, she worked a lot on things with my hips, my joints in this area to kind of open things up. It was amazing, which is not something when you go to a regular gym, you walk in and they say, oh, you want to get stronger? So they're going to tell you to do curls and presses and this and that. The personal trainers that I worked with before never really explained why they were doing what they were doing for you. You would tell them what your goal was, and they would say, oh, well, you're going to do this. But they never really did an in-depth assessment. I kind of felt it was all about, they just wanted you to sign up with them because they wanted to earn the money. But I didn't feel that they had my best interest at heart, and I never lasted with them very long. I would do a few sessions and I'd be like, I can do this on my own. With Active Life, I really feel like I've been educated and given tools that I'll be able to use on my own always. So it's very different, and they're very professional, and they really, really know what they're doing. One of my goals was to be able to put my own bike on my bike rack, and she designed a specific bicycle press rotation of exercises where I'm doing this, not like a curl, but this, because that's the motion that I have to do to get my bike. The last time I checked, I could lift my bike 2.5 inches higher than I was able to when we first started. And she had me bring the bike down to Active Life. My husband drove the car with the bike rack on it, and she took a look and saw how high I could get it. And now 2.5 inches higher, I can do it. The goal is, before we leave for Hilton Head, I should be able to put it on the rack. When we first started, I always used the term cautiously optimistic. Now I am optimistic that I will reach that goal before we leave in January. I am able to run, which I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to do again from the way it was feeling, but I can run, I can walk my 5 miles plus a day. I am doing everything that I want to do, and I really feel that it's kind of saved me, brought me back to where I wanted to be, and I'm stronger. We're at Pickle and Par, where I play pickleball with a group of friends once a week for a couple of hours, and we are out there to have fun, some laughs. There was a time where I really stopped playing most of the time, unless I was with people where I could say, I can't run after a ball, so if it's going to be somewhere where I can't get to it slowly, you have to get to it. And if they were okay with that, I could play. But otherwise, I kind of backed off and didn't play for a while. The one big difference between Active Life and the other gyms that I've belonged to was when I would go to the gym when I was feeling good and things were okay. And then when something happened, I was either in pain or got injured. Okay, if I had to go to a doctor, I went to a doctor. If I had to do physical therapy, I did physical therapy. Therapists would get me back to doing what I needed to do to get through the day, just to function, but never really addressed what I wanted to do, like the things I really enjoyed doing. Coming to Active Life, they addressed the pain, set up a program, got rid of it, talked about what other goals I wanted to work on, and I'm very happy and proud to say my goal of getting my bike onto the bike rack, I accomplished on Saturday. I was very excited that I was able to do that. So I think that's really the difference. They get you not only to do what you need to do, but they get you back to doing all the things you want to do. Playing pickleball, running after a ball, walking 5+ miles on the boardwalk, doing my bike. That's the real difference.